Good morning, everyone. Today's video, we're going to explore a function I just posted on my blog this week, but that I've had lying around for quite some time. And basically, what it is it's a simple, very simple function that allows us to run command prompt commands. Grab their output, whatever it may be, and bring it back into VBA. And then once it's in VBA, you can parse it and manipulate it any which way you want. So this is just a great way of being able to get information, well, run a command, get the information back, so then you can work with it. Now, what command? That's up to you. You're able to run pretty much any command prompt command. So like I always say, the sky is the limit here, because the command prompt makes available to you a whole slew of commands natively, but then there's also, you're able to run other programs outside of command prompts. You can run EXEs and things like that, and if they output stuff, you'll be able to retrieve that information as well. So basically, let's just dive in and take a look. Like I show you here, I have an article. Go there, you can copy paste the code verbatim, and you're set to go. It's a single function, it's very straightforward, and here it is in my VBA editor. Now, I have in the header a whole section here illustrating just a couple examples of what it can be used for, but there's a multitude more, and if anyone does any IT admin, they know a lot of these commands, and they probably know of other commands that I haven't included here. So that's why I'm saying it really is versatile, and it's whatever you need it to be. And that's the beauty here, is I've made a universal function. In the past, I've shown once or twice before using very similar code, but for very specific tasks, like go get the IP address, where I do the parsing directly in the function, but then that function is unique and only does one thing. Whereas this one is more versatile and can do anything, and I leave the parsing to be done outside of this function. So you could use this function to go get the information and then create a specific parsing routine for an IP address, a specific routine to parse out a Wi-Fi network name, things like that. Anyway, you get the idea, but this is definitely the first step, if not the only step, depends on what you're needing to do to be able to execute commands. Now, how does it work? It's very, very straightforward. Well, first off, what am I doing? I'm just double checking that we actually have a command to run. Because if for some reason it's an empty string or whatever, I don't want to be running it for no reason. Next, we actually run the command. So we're going to create an object, wscript.shell, and we're going to use the run. And we're going to run a command, and the command that we pass it to run. So this here effectively runs the command as if we were doing it in command prompt. Now, we need to bring it back into VBA. Now, there's a whole slew of different approaches that can be used, but I always am aiming to reduce the number of times we're doing I/O operations. I didn't want to save it to a text file, then read the text file back, delete the text file. We're just wasting I/O, and it's a performance hit too. So what are we doing? Instead, we're passing it the clip. So by doing that, what we're doing is we're saying run this command and pass or push its output to the clipboard. So in one command, we're able to execute and save it to memory. Then we come here, and this guy here is effectively making an instance or using an instance of the clipboard to go get the latest text entry. And we pass it back to a variable that I use to set my function output. So run the command, push it to the clipboard, retrieve it from the clipboard, and push it back to our function. That's it. That's why I said it really is simple. Just had to think about it a little bit to make this happen. Now that I mentioned this and we've got a functional function, what can we do with it? Well, let's just take a couple examples. I'm not going to do them all, but let's just look at a couple of them. So if I was looking for some reason to use dir to go get a listing of folders, files in a folder, we can just do that. So can see the folders. If I had files, they'd be listed. You get the general idea. We can use it to go do a lookup of a domain, things like that. And there you go. I'm able, and then from that you can parse out the address, the whatever you're looking to get out of it. But at least you've got the raw data back into VBA to work with. You want to look at the active processes that are running on a machine. There you go. We want to ping something to see if it's accessible. If it's the computer's up, we can do that too. Now this one, of course, we have to wait, but as you can see, it's not going to find anything because that server doesn't exist. But if we did something more like that, for instance, and there you go. You get the replies, you get the IP address, etc. You can use it for IP config. You can use it to run WMI, and surprisingly, through the DOS command prompt, these are relatively fast. So, and as you can see, you don't have to create any objects. You don't have to do any of the hoopla that sometimes we do with WMI. So maybe running it through the command prompt is the smarter approach. You can use it to go get information about stored Wi-Fi connections. There are different Wi-Fi connections on my computer right now. You can even use it if you wanted to. Here's an example to go look at a specific Wi-Fi connection and output all the information clear, which means you're going to get the password unencrypted. So if you need to jot it down somewhere and you forgot it, well, there are ways of retrieving it using, well, in this case, we're going to use VBA to go get it through a command prompt. Another one that I think most people aren't even aware of is you can actually use it to unzip, well, and zip for that matter, files. So let's just open up give me 2 seconds. We're going to go into the temp. Okay. So let me just clear that out. Okay. So what are we doing here? We're going to use the tar command, and we're going to go find this zip file, and we're going to extract it to this folder. So just to demonstrate 100%, the folder ctemp extracted is empty currently. We come here and run it. We open back it up, and there it is, completely unzipped. So I didn't even know about this command until I started playing around a little bit for this video, and I just found it to be nifty. And you can use it to create zips as well. And it really is lightning fast. So just to illustrate a little bit of how versatile this can become. And as you all know, there's tons more commands that you can do through the command prompt. Now, one thing I did want to mention to you is if you're trying to do something, you're not getting the result you're expecting or wanting or things of that nature, and you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. The way to do this is this guy here, this 0. Okay, that means keep the window hidden. If we switch it to make it visible, so a 1 or true, and then you can do whatever you'd like. So you can take your command and after the command, add and a pause. Now when we run it, the window is going to become visible. Which screen? Oh, it's over here. Okay. So mine's over here. Now the command's already run. Okay, because this command doesn't give me anything. But it's paused enough that if there was an error, something had happened, it would be listed here. I'd see it. And then when I'm ready and I'm done, I've seen what I needed to do, then I just press any key, doesn't make a difference, and it will finish. Okay. Let me take a more useful command. So if we take this guy for illustrative purpose, well, here, we can just come here. We can do a ping of google.ca, and we keep the pause like I showed. We can get rid of this just so there's nothing messing things up. And now when we do it, oh, it's over here again, but as you can see, you get to see it running. You're able to see exactly what's going on. So if for some reason it was giving an error, you'd be able to see the error here and determine what's going on to address it. Did you make a typo? Whatever it may be. But this is the way that you can go about diagnosing some of that. And like I said, when everything's good and dandy, you just press that and it's gone. Now, it's only going to pull the result of the last command. Obviously, this is for debugging. So that's why you're getting the press any key to continue. But in production, that's all you do, and you're going to get back the full value when it's finished running. Okay, and don't forget, when you're done diagnosing whatever you're diagnosing, switch it back to 0. That way the user doesn't see any pop-ups. It's all seamless to them. And that's it. That's all you need to know to be able to run command prompt commands and pull the results back into VBA. And then you can manipulate them however you want using the standard text parsing techniques. And I have multiple articles on my website about parsing and different, left, right, mid, all of those types of commands. So yeah, go wild. But this brings that information back into VBA so you can use it. How do I use this? Well, I've taken some of the commands that I use a lot. The ipconfig commands, the net stats, the task skill. Anyway, you get the general idea. And I've built administrative form with a lot of these commands are linked to buttons. Or I also have certain times list box. For instance, I get the task lists, I throw it into a list, and then I'm able to use the task kill to kill them through my VBA form now, my access form. So basically I've made an administrative panel that allows me to see information about the computer, but also act just by clicking a button. So I no longer have to open the command prompt. I no longer have to type these commands. I just click a button and it's done. Click a button and it's done. Click a button and it's done. So yeah, it's made myself basically a utility. It just makes my life simpler for managing things and diagnosing things sometimes. I'm going to stop here, just rambling on at this point. I hope this helps a few of you out there, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.